Hi, my name is Ricardo, and in this video we're going to talk about Principle 5 of the King 4 report on corporate governance, which is focusing on reporting. Now, Principle 5 provides that the governing body should ensure that reports issued by the organization enable stakeholders to make informed assessments of the organization's performance and its short, medium, and long-term prospects. So integrated reporting was introduced in King 3 back in 2009. However, it's still regarded as a highlight of King 4, and that is because the understanding of integrated reporting has evolved, and it's now considered to be one of many reports that should be published by the company or the organization, and it should actually be a standalone report. Now, even if you look at what was recommended under King 3, some of the recommendations I thought were quite interesting and quite beneficial, and it was supposed to stretch our concept of reporting and our understanding of reporting. And I'm quite excited about this concept, and it's premised on the other concept of integrated thinking. Now, before we even look at the issue of integrated thinking, let's have a look at how the King 4 report defines integrated reporting. It says that it's a concise communication about how an organization's strategy, governance, performance, and prospects in the context of its external environment lead to the creation of value in the short, medium, and long term. Now, you have to look at the previous video looking at Principle 4 that deals with strategy and performance, and this whole concept of value creation is also discussed within that particular video. Within this statement, what I quite like is the focus on governance, and I think there's quite a lot of scope, in terms of the reporting to deal with governance and to expand on what the organization has been doing in terms of its governance. So King 4 makes a number of recommended practices flowing from Principle 5. The first one is that the board should assume the responsibility for setting the direction of how integrated reporting should be approached and conducted. So essentially, the board should take on that responsibility for providing direction in terms of integrated reporting. Secondly, it's recommended that the board should approve management determination of reporting frameworks. And then also the board should ensure that reports, those would include annual financial statements, sustainability reports, committee reports, and also the integrated report, comply with legal requirements and meet the reasonable information needs of material stakeholders. Now, if we just consider financial reports of non-profit organizations, there's actually a newsletter that I've published some time ago dealing with requirements for those particular reports. And so it's important that the board should ensure that the reports published by the organization are compliant with those specific legal requirements. But there's another aspect to it, and this is especially where the integrated report becomes important, and that is providing sufficient information for your stakeholders in order for them to make adequate assessments of the organization. Now, King 4 also recommends that the organization should at least annually publish an integrated report, and the integrity of the report should also be ensured. Now, King 4 makes reference to the International Integrated Reporting Council, which is a global coalition of regulators, investors, companies, standard setters, the accounting profession, academia, and also NGOs. And this council has actually provided some additional information on integrated reporting, and they've also provided a guidance document on integrated reporting. Now, in the guidance document, the council sets out the purposes for integrated reporting. Now, I've extracted two of these purposes, which I think are quite beneficial. The one is to enhance accountability and stewardship for the broad base of capitals, those 6 capitals being financial, manufactured, intellectual, human, social and relationship, and natural, and to promote an understanding of their interdependencies. And then even more important in my view is to support integrated thinking, decision making and actions that focus on the creation of value over the short, medium and long term. Now, there are other objectives embedded within the integrated reporting process. I would suggest that you have a look at this particular guide and also have a look at the principles that are underlying integrated reporting. And it's these 7 guiding principles that would naturally contribute to the value creation process as referred to by King 4. And the first one is strategic focus and orientation, connectivity of information, stakeholder relationships, materiality, essentially referring to the ability to create value, conciseness, reliability and completeness, consistency and comparability. Essentially, you know, if you read a report, say, of 2 years ago, and compare that to a report that is published currently, you know, there should be some consistency, and the stakeholders should be able to draw comparisons in terms of the progress made by the organization. So those 7 guiding principles are important, and the council basically suggests that integrated reporting would become an industry standard. So in my view, I think it's important for the organization's board to engage with this concept of integrated reporting. And I think one of the first questions to ask is whether or not the organization should embrace integrated reporting. If not, why not? Right? So if you decide, okay, you're going to embrace it or embrace aspects of integrated reporting, then the next question is, how can integrated reporting add value to the organization and to its stakeholders? Also, has the board provided, or should the board provide strategic direction in terms of the organizational reporting? To what extent has the organization's reporting improved or evolved over time? I mean, are the reports still the same? To what extent have you added aspects of governance to the report? Also, are reports compliant with the relevant legal requirements? So I hope you liked the video. If you did, please click the like button. And if you think others may benefit from the video, please share. And I would also encourage you to subscribe and also click the bell button so that you're advised when other videos are coming out. Thank you so much for having watched this video.